Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Digital Service Champion Awards. I'm Tina Walla, CEO of US Digital Response, and on behalf of everyone at USDR, I'm honored to be with you today as we celebrate something extraordinary: the government teams and civic tech champions who refuse to accept that public services have to be slow, confusing, or inaccessible. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. 5 years ago, in the early days of the pandemic, USDR came together with a really simple mission: help governments deliver digital services when communities needed them most. What started as an emergency response has become something much bigger, a movement of people committed to making government work better for everyone. Today is about recognizing that work. The projects we're celebrating didn't happen because someone had unlimited resources or perfect conditions, but rather they happened because dedicated people chose to push through bureaucracy, technical debt, and budget constraints to make real change happen. The people we're honoring today aren't limited to being USDR volunteers or partners, which I love. They've come across the ecosystem and country to show that there's a better way. This moment we're in right now, it's complicated, to say the least. Many of y'all are navigating out-of-date technology, financial constraints, staffing constraints. It would be so easy to pull back and just say, we're going to accept good enough. But here's what I know from working alongside government teams across the country. When you make digital services work better, you're not just improving efficiency metrics, you are restoring trust. You're proving that government can meet this moment. This is the work that changes people's lives, and it's happening because of people in this Zoom room. What makes today special is how these awards were chosen. We didn't just decide on who did great work, but you might have seen on that video that was playing while you joined, we brought together nearly 20 leaders from across the civic tech ecosystem, people working in government, nonprofits, academia, and the private sector, to review nominations and identify excellence. This was not a USDR only conversation. This was all of us as a community recognizing each other. And that's exactly how this work should happen, not in silos, but together. To our selection committee, thank you so much for bringing your expertise and perspective, for giving us your time. These awards carry weight because of your involvement. Today, we're going to be recognizing 10 awardees across government and individual categories. We're going to be recognizing government teams who built solutions that scale, who moved at the speed of need, who embraced agile approaches, who got creative despite some of those constraints I was mentioning, and who collaborated across boundaries. And the individuals we'll be recognizing include volunteers who show up on evenings and weekends, civic tech professionals who have dedicated their careers to this mission, and, importantly, public servants who champion change from inside government. Each of them proves what's possible when we refuse to accept that government services have to be frustrating or exclusionary. To help us think about why this work matters and where we go from here, I can't imagine a better person to hear from than our keynote speaker, Jennifer Polka. Jen is the founding chair of the Recoding America Fund and author of Recoding America. She founded Code for America, served as U.S. Deputy Chief Technology Officer under President Obama, helped found the U.S. Digital Service, and, maybe my favorite part of her resume, co-founded U.S. Digital Response. But more than these very impressive titles and organizations, what I think really stands out about Jen is that she's spent her entire career really asking the most important question: how do we make government work for the people who need it most? Jen, thank you for being here with us today. Let me hand it over to you.
Tina, thank you so much. It is really special to be here. Tina, I think, previewed a little bit why I feel honored and privileged, because this organization is so important and does such important work, but also because of your focus on community and on celebration. So what an honor. Thank you. So let's start with those crazy headlines about all of the fancy technology that's out there, that's capturing everyone's attention, and the reality that most of the work that really changes people's lives isn't that flashy technology. It's the stuff that works, that you're making work. Permit systems that now take a few days instead of months, or benefits applications that we get right the first time and we don't have to go back, or just a website that you can find the information that you need on it, especially in a crisis or a time of really great need. We all know that this work really matters. And today we're here to celebrate not just the work, but the people who do it. That's you. So, speaking of people, let's figure out who is here. We've got a Slido here on the side in your chat bar asking what brings you here. If you don't mind, just click on the category that describes you best and hit send. And I guess I have to do it too before I can see the results. I'm eager to see who all is here. Okay, so we got a lot of people working in government digital services, a lot of people supporting this work, some wonderful volunteers, and then I'm going to go out on a limb and say that just passionate about government, about better government, applies to all of us here. So we can click on too. We'd all click on that one. Wonderful. Well, what a great community to be here celebrating. Let's start celebrating. The work itself matters so much. Let's just take a moment to think about the stakes of this work. Government digital services aren't nice to haves, especially if you're a vulnerable person in our society. They are how millions of people access what they need to survive and to thrive. When these systems fail, real people lose benefits, they may lose a business license, they can't access something like emergency services. And I think that thing that we all know is sort of corrosive in our society is even when it's not something big like a benefit, we are constantly stealing people's time and dignity and eroding trust and faith in government when we don't make services work the way people know they could work. So this digital divide isn't just about access to technology. No one cares about technology for technology's sake. It's about whether government works for everyone or if it just works for the people who have the resources to make it work for them. One of the lines in my book was, paperwork favors the powerful. And of course, I don't just mean paper work. I mean all of that gets at people. And pulls them down from the things that they need to get done in their lives. You here all know this viscerally, and that's why you do the work you do, and that's why you've come here today to celebrate each other. There's so many people here, so many kinds of people, and let's remember that there's not sort of one profile of a digital government hero. You are all heroes. Some of you are here as teams doing that hard work on the ground. Some of you have the benefit of a full digital service team behind you. Others are just public servants who see the system failing and refuse to accept that failure and refuse to accept the that's just how it's been done excuse and keep pushing for something better. Some of you are those volunteers who dedicate your skills because you believe government can work better. And some of you are these civic tech professionals who've built your entire careers around this mission and chosen to put the purpose first over some easier paths you might have had. Some of you have done the incredibly hard work of building solutions that have grown to help other jurisdictions. Proving that good ideas can scale. That can be very hard. Government is so heterogeneous and diverse. Others of you have moved at the speed of need when communities couldn't wait during the pandemic and, of course, after the pandemic. Those needs do not exist only in crisis. You've collaborated across boundaries that were not supposed to be crossed. Good for you for breaking the rules. You've got creative with constraints that would have stopped most people. There's no one right way to do this work, but all of you share something. You showed up, You push through bureaucracy and technical debt and budget limitations, like Tina was talking about, and you've made things better for real people. And you can't stop, and you're not stopping. Again, as Tina said, we are in a very hard moment. Many of you are facing budget cuts, hiring freezes, certainly that political uncertainty. Some of you get pushback on the efforts to modernize the services. Some of you are exhausted from years of what was meant to be a crisis, but it turned into a forever crisis. But here's what I know. The work you're doing is more important now than it ever has been. Communities need government services that work, full stop. They have to work. Every barrier that you remove, every hour of someone's time that you save, every form that you make accessible, that is real meaningful impact for people who need to believe that government can work for them. This work may be quiet, maybe it's not capturing the headlines, but those wins add up and they sustain. They sustain in ways that mean that they'll be helping people for decades to come. So we're going to get to celebrating the winners now, but I want to hear one more time from all of you. What is one win that you have had this year? And I think you can just put it in the chat. We don't need a poll this time. It could be as simple as getting some buy-in from leadership. It could be somebody who told you that the thing that you fixed helped them in some meaningful way. Or maybe you just survived a killer procurement process. What's a win that you have that you'd like to share? Drop it in the chat. Anna, you may have to get out of the Slido to see the chat. Oh, good. We've got something here. Okay, let me go back. Are people able to put stuff in the chat? Yes, the show must go on. And it is going on. Love to hear others' ideas. I don't know if people can hit the chat. Oh, Julie. That's a good one, not being laid off. Yes. And I know this community is there for all the people who unfortunately did get laid off. Oh, finding this community and becoming part of it, an enormous win. Nathan was able to hit publish on a big project. Hi, Priya, supporting election officials through increasingly high pressure cycles. They did kill it. Amazing work. I'm going to keep going. Partnering with frontline staff to co-design solutions to challenges that they have felt viscerally for years. I love it. I love it. Okay, many, many more wonderful wins. I'm glad you're all sharing them together. This is what progress looks like. It's not one big headline. It's all of these things that we persist through, make it through the bad days, so we have the good day with the little wins like that. And this is really absolutely real. So as we get to our actual celebration here, just take a moment to look around this virtual community, this virtual room, and remember when you're having that bad day that these folks are here for you always, not just now. And we are all in this together. You're part of something bigger. There are people here doing this work everywhere, and change happens because we support each other to keep pushing. And thank you for doing the work. Thank you for staying in the arena. And thank you for believing that government can work better for people. Now it's time to welcome Gabe Paley, who is going to do the joyful work of awarding these wonderful awards to so many of you who've done great work. Gabe is somebody I have admired for ages. He was formerly a USDR volunteer, of course, the former Assistant Secretary for Technology for the state of New York, and now I have the great pleasure of working with him at the Recoding America Fund. So Gabe, let's do it. Let's celebrate these wonderful civic tech champions.
With pleasure. Thank you, Jen, for those inspirational words and for your vision and for your leadership to this community over so many years. And thank you all for being here. And I'll just say on a personal note, it's really meaningful to be here. As Jen mentioned, my first foray into public service was as a USDR volunteer during the pandemic. And I had the great privilege of being a USDR partner both during my time with New York State and now again at the Recoding America Fund. So I'm thrilled to present the individual awards at the 2025 Digital Service Champion Awards. These awards celebrate the people, the volunteers, the civic tech professionals, the public servants who show up often behind the scenes to make government technology work better for everyone. They recognize something essential, that digital government transformation doesn't happen through policy alone. It happens because dedicated individuals choose to spend their evenings and their weekends volunteering, because professionals in civic tech commit their careers to public service, and because government employees refuse to accept that accessing government benefits should be so hard. And I want to take a moment to thank our selection committee. We assembled nearly 20 leaders from across the civic tech ecosystem to review the many amazing nominations, and they brought perspectives from government, from nonprofits, academia, and the private sector. They spent hours evaluating contributions, assessing impact, and identifying the people truly moving this field forward. So this recognition comes from the community itself, and that really makes it meaningful. And today we're honoring 5 individuals across 5 categories: a volunteer who builds bridges and brings people together, a volunteer who consistently goes above and beyond, a volunteer who creates systems others can build upon, a civic tech professional advancing the entire ecosystem, and a federal employee embodying Andrew Hyder's legacy of service. These aren't just awards for doing good work. These are awards for the people who change what's possible in civic tech. So moving to the first award. So the High Collaboration Award celebrates volunteers who bring people together, who connect teams, wrangle stakeholders, and create the conditions for deep collaboration. Julie's been doing this work with USDR election projects for years, and the impact is remarkable. She hasn't just contributed to projects, she's driven significant, sustained outcomes over multiple years, showing transformative results that last. But here's what sets Julie apart. She doesn't just do the work for government partners, she builds their capacity to do it themselves. She creates strong partnerships and genuine relationships. She transfers knowledge. She empowers teams. The selection committee noted her ability to build the knowledge and capacity of government teams while maintaining those partnerships across multiple years. That's the heart of high collaboration, not just working together, but making everyone better at the work. Julie embodies USDR values in everything she does. Her commitment to collaboration, to sustainable impact, and to empowering others makes her an outstanding recipient of this award. Congratulations, Julie.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Gabe. And thanks to everyone here. I'm very honored to receive the High Collaboration Volunteer Award this year. If I sound nervous, it's because I have a hard time acknowledging my own achievements. So we're gonna keep rolling with it. So I've worked in software for 15 years. I was an operations manager at a startup. I was a product manager for a long time, and now I'm a software engineer at a publicly traded company. And throughout my career, I've been very drawn to finding a ton of meaning and using technology to help real people solve real problems. And that's what drew me to US Digital Response. I have a very vivid memory of my friend telling me about how to volunteer and where the application was while we were at the Meow Wolf installation in New Mexico. And I definitely filled out the application while she was in the bathroom. And this whole experience definitely really drew me in. And I joined in 2023. I remember my interview with Melissa too, which is great. And I've been working with the elections program team, and it's been a great experience. So partnering with people very deeply committed to public service has been really inspiring to me personally, especially being in the private sector my whole life. And it's been very rewarding to watch the elections platform evolve and to play a role in that. And there have been so many people who have made this work meaningful as I've spent my time volunteering. So I want to thank everyone I've collaborated with directly and indirectly on the elections program team. So Melissa House, Priya, John, Kevin, Lizette, and Lynn. I'm very, very grateful that y'all chose to bring me on and gave me this opportunity. And I'm especially grateful for all the collaboration and time I've spent with Melissa over the years. And I think finally, I just want to say a thank you to USDR and the broader civic tech community, especially in the current climate. I really appreciate y'all creating a space for people like me to bring our private sector selves and skills to the public for good. Thank you.
And congratulations, Julie. Amazing work. And I will second the Meow Wolf recommendation. Big fan. Uh, the Above and Beyond Award. So this award recognizes volunteers who consistently exceed expectations, who fill gaps, who deliver outside their role, and delight the people they work with. And Leon Wong is exactly that volunteer. The selection committee noted what really stood out about Leon was how trusted and valued he is by both his teams and government partners. Leon's commitment and values shine through in every testimonial. He's taken on an impressive diversity of projects, bringing the same dedication and excellence to each one. The committee noted something important. Not every project shifts. I'm sure we can all relate to that. But Leon's impact and dedication are award worthy nonetheless. And that's the spirit of this award, showing up with full commitment, regardless of the outcome, and stepping into whatever role is needed, being the person teams know they can count on. Congratulations, Leon.
Thanks very much for the award. It's a real honor. I want to start by expressing my gratitude to US Digital Response for creating so many amazing opportunities for volunteers like me to use our talents to help solve important. And I'd especially like to recognize all the incredible volunteers, staff, and government partners that I've had the privilege to work with throughout the years. Every project I've taken on reminds me of just how amazing this community is. You know, when people come together across disciplines, geographies, organizations to solve problems that really matter, just incredible things become possible. I've learned so much from all of you, and this award really reflects the collective talent and dedication of all the project teams I've been lucky enough to be a part of. Thanks again for this recognition and for all the work that every one of you out there do in this community to strengthen public institutions and deliver impact where it's needed most. I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to contribute in so many different and interesting ways. Thanks.
Congrats again, Leon. Thank you for your service over so many years. Moving to the Building Scalable Systems Award, which honors volunteers who don't just complete projects, they create resources, processes, and systems that others can use and build upon. Anna Hoffman has made meaningful and sustained contributions to USDR's mission, both internally and externally across multiple projects. We actually had the good fortune of working with Anna in New York State as well. Good to see you again. But what makes her work exceptional is the focus. Anna improves internal capacity, strengthens the volunteer experience, and builds infrastructure that helps the entire organization work better. The selection committee recognized that by focusing on these systems and structures, Anna isn't just supporting one project or one partner, she is building the sustainability of the entire organization. This is systems thinking at its best, creating tools and processes today that will enable countless projects tomorrow. Congratulations, Anna.
Thank you. I was really excited to see that this was under the Scalable Systems Award. I think because user research, which is my focus, is oftentimes kind of gate kept behind a lot of graduate degrees and fancy expensive software and all these other things. And I distinctly remember being on a USDR call with a client where one of the civic tech employees we were speaking with said that, you know, they answer phone lines all day from constituents. And I said, what is that if not the peak of user research? You know, no one would call it that, but to me, that is exactly what that was, whether or not that person had ever heard of user research as sort of a field before. And so I very much am inspired by the accessibility community's phrase, nothing about us without us. And I think that tech and government both are at their best when the people who they are for, who it's for, is brought into the process of creation. And so I feel so blessed to get to be a part of USDR in any way. I started working with USDR, I think very early 2021, when, if I'm being quite honest, after a year of
Pandemic was feeling pretty hopeless about the world, and it might sound dramatic, but genuinely working with USDR restored my faith in what tech could be and what the civic space could be. And thank you to so many of the people here who I've gotten to work with, Kristen, Krista, Perry, Tina, Amanda, Jessica, Marcy. I'm probably forgetting others. You're all wonderful. Everyone I've gotten to work with through this has been wonderful. So thank you all for truly letting me be a part of this space. I uh, just love it so much. So thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Very well said. And I certainly relate to your comment about the pandemic and the hope that USDR has brought to so many of us. Okay, moving to the Civic Tech Champion Award. This is an award that celebrates professionals who advance digital government services from outside government itself through research, partnerships, training, and solutions that strengthen the entire civic tech ecosystem. This year, we are honored to present this award to Laura Flannery for her extraordinary work at Civic Actions, particularly with the VA. We share this recognition with heavy hearts as Laura passed away before we could celebrate with her today. Laura made VA services more accessible through work that's hard to measure, but incredibly important. Training and culture change around accessibility that prevents barriers from ever reaching production. Though she's no longer with us, her impact continues in every team she's empowered, every resource she's created, and every person who can now access government services because of her work. What impressed the selection committee most was Laura's consistent leadership in centering accessibility, not just in building products, but in empowering government teams to carry that work forward independently. Laura created resources designed to be referenced and reused, mentored countless colleagues, and demonstrated civic tech values through her unwavering focus on inclusion, equity, and creating positive change that extends far beyond any single contract. Today, we honor Laura's legacy and the profound impact she had on making government technology work better for everyone. Her colleague, Erica, will be accepting the award on Laura's behalf.
Thank you. It's an honor to accept this award on behalf of my colleague and dear friend, Laura. Her recent passings left a tremendous void. She is known as a fierce advocate for accessibility, someone who treated it not as a requirement, but as a responsibility to the veterans. But she was not so much more than an accessibility specialist. She had an engineer's mind and a perfectionist eye, and a natural ability to lead teams with clarity, conviction, and care. These last few weeks without her have shown us just how much of her is woven into the very fabric that holds our team together. In every document, every PR, every conversation, we find parts of Laura that remind us how to be great. Her work had a real impact at the VA. She led the team that improved content speed builds by 80%. She took a deeply flawed accessibility tool and transformed it into something that actually helps find and fix issues. She also helped launch a digital replacement of a paper form so that millions of veterans and their beneficiaries can easily access their benefits. The work touches millions of veterans, and it will remain one of her lasting legacies. She also trained hundreds of editors and product teams on creating and maintaining accessible content. She built alternative text processes, she created governance, and all of that became part of the VA design system. Her influence isn't isolated to a single project. It's embedded in how we build, how we teach, and how we serve. I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak about her brilliance because she would have never done any of this or talked about herself in any way like this. She was humble to the core. She didn't take up space, and instead she made space for others. She made our work better and our team stronger, and she touched more lives than she ever realized, from her teammates to countless veterans. This award honors her contributions, but it also honors her spirit, her leadership, and her humanity and the standard of excellence that she set for all of us. So on behalf of everyone who loved her and learned from her, thank you for recognizing her today. She deserves to be celebrated, and we will carry her legacy forward. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adrienne Heider. I'm here to present the wonderful Leilani Martinez with the Andrew Heider Government Service Improvement Award. This final award carries special meaning. It honors my late husband, Andrew Heider, who spent his career as a community organizer and technologist, bringing people together to improve how government serves those in need. Andrew often said, feed the people, and he put those words into action through his work improving access to public benefits at 18F. This award recognizes a federal employee who demonstrates both excellence in their work and commitment to improving the public's experience with government services. Leilani Martinez is that public servant. A longtime leader at TTS, Leilani led a transformational benefits delivery initiative with equity at its core and strong impact metrics to prove it. What stands out about Leilani is how she recognizes the contributions of others. A letter from a colleague demonstrates their leadership and commitment. Leilani's work extends beyond any single project through building a wider multilingual community of practice, ensuring language accessibility becomes standard, not exceptional. Leilani's career embodies Andrew's legacy, using technology to connect people to the services and benefits they need, making government work better for those who need it most, building systems and communities that can sustain this work for years and years to come. Like Andrew, Leilani sees civic tech as fundamentally about service, about feeding the people in every sense. Many, many congratulations, Leilani. It is my honor to present this award to you and have you carry on Andrew's legacy.
Congratulations, Leilani. Our dad would be proud. Feed the people! Right?
Sorry, I didn't introduce that slide. That's Andrew's legacy there too. Our boys, Leon, who's 8.5, and Ray, who is 6. They wanted to also say congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to now transcreate that message in Spanish, something that is very near to our heart as I work with Leilani for so many years. So here it goes. Hola a todos, me llamo Adrienne Hyder. Este último premio tiene un significado especial, pues rinde homenaje a mi difunto esposo Andrew Hyder, quien dedicó su carrera como organizador comunitario y tecnólogo y congregó a personas con el fin de mejorar la forma en que el gobierno sirve a quienes lo necesitan. Andrew solía decir, alimenta a la gente, y lo puso en práctica a través de su trabajo para mejorar el acceso a los beneficios públicos en 18F. Este premio reconoce a una empleada federal que demuestra excelencia, compromiso en su trabajo y así mejorar la experiencia del público con los servicios gubernamentales. Leilani Martínez es esa servidora pública que como líder de larga trayectoria en TTS lideró una iniciativa transformadora de prestación de beneficios centrada en la equidad y con sólidas medidas de impacto que lo demuestran. Lo que se destaca de Leilani es cómo ella reconoce y aprecia las contribuciones de los demás. Una carta de un colega describe su liderazgo y compromiso. El trabajo de Leilani va más allá de solo un proyecto. El construir una comunidad de práctica bilingüe más amplia garantiza que la accesibilidad lingüística se convierta en algo estándar y no excepcional. La carrera profesional de Leilani encarna el legado de Andrew, usar la tecnología para conectar a las personas con los servicios y beneficios que necesitan, lograr que el gobierno funcione mejor para quienes más lo necesitan, construir sistemas y comunidades que perpetúen esta labor durante años. Al igual que Andrew, Leilani considera que la tecnología cívica es central fundamentalmente al servicio, en alimentar a la gente en todos los sentidos. Felicitaciones, Leilani. Es un honor para mí entregar este premio y que continúes el legado de Andrew. And now, it's my honor to introduce my colleague and friend, Leilani Martinez.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever cried in front of 140 people. Thank you, Adrian. And I'm very honored. I'm very humble to receive Andrew's award. Y gracias, María. No sabes lo mucho que significa esto para mí. I'm glad I wrote a few things because if not, I don't think I'm going to be able to kind of make it through. But I'm deeply honored and I'm quite overwhelmed to receive the Andrew Hyder Government Service Improve Me Award. I love your presentation, Adrian and Maria, but those two little kids, I need a way to say thanks to them. I'm very, very touched and moved by their words. So this award means a lot to me because my entire government career of 21 years was really centered around one belief, and is that people deserve to be feel seen, heard, and supported when they turn to the government for help. So I want to dedicate this first to Andrew and his family, but also to my family, to my daughter, and to my husband. This year has been a year full of change, reflection, and transition for all of us, and they've been really my grounding force. I also want to dedicate this to my extraordinary team that I led for several years, and I see many of them here. More than 40 brilliant, compassionate public servants who showed up every single day with so much heart. They believe, like I do, that delivering government information and services in ways that are clear, accessible, and equitable can truly change someone's life. This award belongs to them and to all public servants. Thank you for your service. And finally, this is for the public. For every person who has ever felt that government systems were too confusing, too distant, and were not built for them. You were always our North Star. We worked to make every interaction clearer, easier, and more human, because that's what people deserve. Thank you again for this incredible honor. I'm so moved. I accept it with deep gratitude and humility, and with the hope that irrespective of where life takes us, that we all continue to do our part to ensure that we continue to build a government that truly reflects the people it serves. Gracias.
That was incredible. I don't know about y'all. No dry eyes here in Seattle. Thank you to Gabe for those wonderful presentations and to all of our individual award winners. Goodness gracious, your dedication to making government work better for communities is so truly inspiring. Whether you're volunteering your skills, building systems others can use, or championing accessibility from inside government, you are proof that change happens because individual people choose to make it happen. Thank you. Now, as we move on to our government awards, I just want to introduce someone who understands this work from the inside. Someone who's not just talking about digital transformation, he's living it every day. Nikhil Deshpande is the Chief Digital and AI Officer for the state of Georgia, where he leads the Office of Digital Services and Solutions. What I appreciate most about Nikhil's approach is that he's focused on the fundamentals, making government information and services accessible online, meeting people where they are, and ensuring the technology serves everyone. He also spent a decade teaching interaction design and user experience at the Savannah School of Art and Design, which means that he's not just building better services, he's training the next generation to do the same, which I think is really incredible. Nikhil, thanks for being here with us today. We're all excited to hear your thoughts as we celebrate the remarkable government teams we'll be recognizing shortly.
Hi, I'm Nikhil Deshpande, Chief Digital and AI Officer with the state of Georgia. Thank you all for joining today. I cannot see your faces, but I can feel the energy because I know exactly who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people who make digital government work happen, even when no one is watching. As a state chief digital and AI officer, I see both sides of this coin. I see the glossy headlines about digital transformation, AI modernization, innovation at scale, and then I see reality, the actual work it takes to make government services function for someone who really needs them. And that reality is far less glamorous than the headlines. Is the product manager who spends months navigating procurement just to get approval for a simple UX tool. Is the developer who refactors legacy code at midnight because that was the only window the system could safely go down. Is the caseworker who becomes a champion for better interfaces because she has watched people struggle with the old ones every single time. In Georgia, I still remember testing Health and Human Services mobile apps on actual user devices for the very first time. I had to video record those struggles because no words could describe the facial expressions how they were trying to navigate the application. I remember what it took around COVID times to make sure our Department of Public Health and Labor services were just available, regardless of the traffic. No press releases, just work that mattered. Now, if you're joining this event, you know this world. This is government digital service. In the private sector, when an app fails, people just switch to a competitor. In government, there is no competitor. We are not building things people want to use. We are building things people need to use to feed their families, run their businesses, stay licensed, stay safe, stay supported. The stakes are dramatically higher. A glitchy e-commerce checkout is annoying, but a glitchy benefits application could mean a family goes without food. A confusing business license portal isn't just frustrating, it can actually kill a dream before it starts. And we do all of this with constraints that were never designed for the digital world. Procurement processes from another era, technical debt that can be measured in decades, budgets that still treat technology as overhead instead of infrastructure. And the teams stretch so thin, each of us doing work of maybe 3 people because mission matters. And despite all of that, you show up and you deliver. Now, the work being recognized today wasn't created in a perfect environment. It happened because people pushed through constraints. Across government, I see teams doing extraordinary things, teams building for scale, thinking not just about solving for their own agency, but creating solutions they can reuse. Teams proving government can move fast when we stop hiding behind, well, that's how we've always done it. Teams collaborating across silos, across jurisdictions, across states, because we know together we can do this better. And it's not just teams, it's people. It's the volunteers who could make 6 figures in tech but spend their weekends helping governments modernize. It's the internal champions who keep pushing even when the path is steep. It's the civic technologists who could work anywhere but choose to work where it matters the most. Now, I often think back to many of these conversations I've had with so many of you, conversations that go way beyond sharing just our frustrations. They became moments where ideas were born, where solutions take shape, and where we remind each other of what's possible. Each of these exchanges have left me not just encouraged, but deeply inspired. Because it's people like you, people who care, who contribute, who believe, who show us what can be achieved when we all come together. I want to be honest, this is a challenging moment for digital service work. Budgets are tightening, expectations are rising, technology is accelerating faster than governance structures can ever keep up. And in public sector, trust is fragile. It would be easy, especially now, behind a screen, to just retreat a little and say, let's just maintain what we have, settle for good enough. But I believe this is the time to push even harder. Because when budgets tighten, efficiency matters even more. When trust erodes, service delivery becomes the strongest signal of what government can do. When technology leaps forward, we cannot afford to fall further behind. The invisible work you all do, the debugging, the policy rewrites, the cross-agency alignment, the design reviews, late-night fixes, that is how we rebuild trust. Not through big announcements, not through shiny buzzwords, but through services that simply work. through systems that treat people with dignity, through experiences that make someone say, finally, government made that easy and happen. That's the work that moves us forward. Now, tonight, we're celebrating projects and teams, but really, we're celebrating something far bigger. We're celebrating the idea that government services can be fast, usable, reliable, and inclusive. We're celebrating people who don't accept that bureaucracy is just an excuse. We're celebrating a community that believes public services can be better, and they back it up with effort. Now, whether your camera is on or off, whether you're accepting an award or just cheering your peers, you are a part of this movement, reshaping what government means to millions of people. So keep building, keep pushing, keep showing up. The work is hard, but it matters more than most people will ever know. Now, I am delighted to welcome a friend, someone whose leadership bridges government and civic tech. Marlena Medford is a former government employee, a former senior director of strategic communications at Code for America, and now the senior director of strategic engagement at the Center for Civic Futures. Please join me in welcoming Marlena, who will present the government awards.
Thank you. Honored to be here and honored to be presenting the government awards at the 2025 Digital Service Champion Awards. Before we dive in, I just want to say I don't think I realized how much I personally needed this. So sincere gratitude to USDR for bringing us all together, and quick plug to maybe do this every month. I think we need it. So happy to help with that if possible. But today we're gonna celebrate some government agencies, and these 5 awards celebrate something that often goes unseen: the hard, unglamorous work of making government digital services actually work for people. Not the big announcements or the press releases, but the real change happening in communities across the country. What makes these awards special is how they were chosen. We brought together nearly 20 leaders from across the civic tech ecosystem, people working in government, nonprofits, academia, and the private sector, to review dozens of nominations. So this wasn't just USDR deciding who did great work. This was the community recognizing each other. And it's a beautiful testament to, I think, the collective impact of this community, as we've seen today. To our selection committee, thank you. You gave hours of your time reviewing submissions, scoring projects, and helping us identify excellence. You brought diverse perspectives and deep expertise, and these awards carry weight because of your involvement, and we're grateful. The 5 awards we're presenting today span the full spectrum of government digital services. Solutions that scale across jurisdictions, rapid implementations that deliver immediate value, agile approaches that embrace iteration, creative solutions despite real constraints, and collaboration that breaks down traditional boundaries. Each of these governments face different challenges, but they share one thing: they refuse to accept that government services have to be slow, frustrating, or exclusionary. So, now the fun part. Let's celebrate them. Our first award is the SEED Award, which recognizes solutions built to help others, not just one jurisdiction, but many. The New Jersey Department of Labor did something remarkable with their AI translation tool. Instead of creating another bespoke system that only works for them, they built something intentionally designed to scale. They co-created plain language glossaries tested with actual workers, developed benefits-focused prompts, and implemented translation rubrics to ensure quality. The results speak for themselves. Dramatic improvements in translation accuracy, major time savings for staff, and most importantly, real impact on the communities that they serve. Spanish-speaking applicants increased significantly. The follow-through rates jumped because people could finally understand the information in their own language. But here's why they won the SEED Award. They didn't just solve their own problems. They created a model that other states can replicate. That's the spirit of this award, building something that helps others grow. Congratulations to the New Jersey Department of Labor. And I also feel like I want to throw a glitter bomb. So maybe next year we'll have glitter bombs.
Thank you, Marlena. I'm Robert Salangelo, the Commissioner of Labor, Workforce Development in New Jersey. I'm so honored to accept this award on behalf of my staff who did all the work and all the partners here on today. I really just said yes over and over again. And Marlena, I appreciate you talking about scale, I know we've talked before about making sure that other states are following our lead. I'm so honored to be with you all here today who are doing that work wherever you are. I don't need to tell anybody here that navigating government programs can be difficult in any language. Merging human-centered methods with AI has been key in helping us improve access to unemployment insurance, temporary disability, and family leave benefits for non-English speakers. So not only are we doing this work in one program to help other the similar programs around the country, we're using that internally as well to help our other programs that are funded by different funding streams, state, federal, whatever it is. There's no reason that learning should be kept just to one program. So it's our hope that other states will learn from the work we've done and use it as a jumping off point for their own enhancements. I wouldn't be where we are today without the expertise and enthusiasm of a true dream team of different units in our department, inside and outside Department of Labor. So thank you, USDR, for working with us and giving us the additional capacity to take on a project that is big, not only as an undertaking itself, but its impact on a national scale. So great to see so many names on the Zoom who I haven't seen in a long time, especially since during COVID. Everyone at our State Office of Innovation who's joined in and who've been with us throughout many of our modernization projects. Their passion for accessible government has been a real teaching for all of us and can be felt in everything they do. Our community partners, who are so important to everything we do, not only as recipients of these benefits and our learnings, but also teaching us. So the Immigration and American Citizenship Organization, Jefferson Park Ministries, Church World Service, and the Community Action Service Center, along with LALDEF, Latin American Legal Defense and Education Fund, were important to all this work. And of course, all of our teams at Department of Labor, our Office of Unemployment Insurance Modernization, our Office of Strategic Outreach and Partnerships, our UI division, our IT divisions, our procurement, budget, finance, and accounting. It has been a true team effort to make all this work. So even though we're all from different realms in government, we all share the same mission: to make government truly work for people. This has been the hallmark of our governor, Phil Murphy, we're in office for another 58 days. A whole of government approach that puts the needs of our residents, workers, and employers first. A governor and the legislature have been great partners for all of this. I look forward to this momentum continuing under Governor-elect Sherrill. So thank you again for this incredible honor. Thank you for dealing with my cold. And with technology and teamwork, we continue ensuring everyone in New Jersey and the nation can benefit from the systems that meant to support them. Thank you, everybody, for having us here today.
Thank you, Robert. And I agree on the reunion vibes are strong and I'm loving it. And congratulations on the exceptional work. All right, guys, up next we have the Speed of Need Award, which celebrates getting to impact fast, not someday, but now. Pennsylvania faced an urgent federal mandate and responded with something extraordinary: a modern, product-driven approach combining agile design, AI-enabled tools, and genuine cross-agency collaboration. They brought together 10 plus partners across government, civic tech, and the private sector. They visited 7 counties and conducted 30 plus interviews with the people actually doing the work. And they delivered $56 million per month in cost avoidance, cutting error rates nearly in half. 6 integrated prototypes, from consent-based income verification to document quality checks, all built with real input from caseworkers and beneficiaries. Training materials, change management, sustainability planning. This wasn't just fast, this was fast done right, meeting urgent needs while building long-term capacity. Congratulations to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Wow, thank you so much. Thanks to USDR for this recognition. I'm Alicia Rouault. I'm the CIO of Health and Human Services here in Pennsylvania. I'll just add that Pennsylvania, like so many states in the country right now, are navigating immense change. We are all grappling with how to respond to HR 1, and we have to make really quick changes to our systems that administer critical life-saving benefits like SNAP and Medicaid. In August, we faced these challenges head on, and we had 2 goals. Our first goal was to move quickly to reduce that error rate and get that SNAP error rate down. And the other was just to reduce the administrative burden on our caseworkers who are day to day on the front line of delivering benefits. So to respond, we brought together an incredibly diverse set of partners. We had an all hands on deck approach. And we created a team that we call the HR1 Digital Response. Our approach was really clear. We needed to act quickly, we needed to reduce risk, and we needed to protect families who rely on these benefits. And we started with user research and user needs. Together, we launched 6 pilots in less than 8 weeks. That is fast. And they are already succeeding. We used rapid prototyping, iteration, and of course, continuous feedback from our counties. We've already saved thousands of caseworker hours and are reducing our error rate. And I just want to thank the team that contributed to this work. Of course, the Department of Human Services, our leadership, our staff, our IT delivery center, Code PA, the incredible digital services team in Pennsylvania, NAVA, AWS, Digital Public Works, and Deloitte all contributed. But most of all, I want to thank our frontline caseworkers. Their daily realities grounded every design decision and every priority that we made. And so this award really reflects what public servants can achieve when we move with clarity, urgency, and importantly, shared purpose. So thank you.
Amazing. I'm not sure, but I think 6 pilots in 8 weeks might be a record. So congrats on that too. Okay, guys, up next we have the Demos Not Memos Award. The Demos Not Memos Award celebrates agile methodology, building through iteration and prototyping, not endless planning documents. And this year we have a tie. Both winners exemplify this perfectly. The Massachusetts Department of Early Education and Care built a new educator portal using plain language and conditional logic to reduce cognitive load. They designed for various educator types, worked with accessibility vendors, and created a streamlined deployment process. As one beta user said, I was able to answer each question with confidence. That's the power of iteration, building something people can actually use. And Arlington County, Virginia took a different but equally agile approach. They ran a practical AI pilot called Employee Number 10 to build election forecasting in Excel. Using conversational prompts and human review, they adjusted decisions in real time during early voting. After certification, they validated the model and documented it so other small localities could replicate it. Low cost, reputable, and tested live. 2 very different approaches, same commitment to testing, learning, and improvement. So first, let us welcome the Massachusetts Department of Early Education and Care.
Thank you so much for this honor. My name is Jessie Murray, and I'm the Chief Product Officer here at Massachusetts Early Education and Care. Before I go into the specifics, we here at EEC talk about how broad access to childcare is really a 2-generation poverty intervention. It allows parents to go to work, and it sets up the next generation for entering the education system. And our piece of that with this project is ensuring that we have great teachers in place for our littlest ones, and that we're making sure that they're ready to go to kindergarten, that we have enough of them, that they're high quality. And this project, I am but a small piece of it, because this was truly a collaboration between Massachusetts EEC, our centralized Office of Education IT group, our wonderful vendor partners, Mighty Acorn and Bloomworks. And I'm just going to shout out a bunch of names because we had folks who were on the program side, the policy side, the comms side, our fabulous teacher qualifications team who actually go through and approve all of the applications for certification. They were our amazing user testers along the way for not only how will educators respond to this, but how can they do their job more efficiently? And so I'm just gobsmacked at how such a big team can be so agile. So thank you to Commissioner Amy Kershaw, to Jocelyn, to Ellen, to Natu, to Aura, to Letitia, to Celia, to Joel, to Devki, to Pam, Daniel, Hank, Ken, Edward, Arnold, Matt, Danielle, Rob, Aaliyah, Michael, Melissa, Jackie, Sean, Rachel, Vishal, Andy, Colin, Kayla, Darren, Long, Ann, Mairead, Zach, Gerald, Danica, Karen, and Francisco. Think I got them all, but if I forgot you, we love you too. So thank you.
And thank you, Jessie. I love the lightning round of all the name drops. That's awesome. And now honoring Arlington County, Virginia.
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Gretchen, and I'm the election director here in Arlington County. So in election administration, there isn't a great deal of motivation to experiment or innovate. Perfection is the expectation, and there is no dress rehearsal. When the polls open, the spotlight focuses on us, and it stays on us until a winner is decided. Well, it seems that what we do should be easy. We only do one thing, running elections. The truth is that it is anything but that. Over a fixed period of time, we're bombarded by voters, campaigns, press, you name it. So one of my office's priorities has always been to prioritize voters and their experiences. But this can be challenging to predict how many voters are going to participate in any election on any given day. So how do we allocate resources responsibly? But what we do know is that most voters don't want to spend their afternoon waiting in line all day. So what our office does have is data, historic data from how many voters chose to participate in which elections and how they chose to participate. But we're a 9-person shop, so what we don't have is a data scientist or a statistician on staff. So what I did is I turned to AI, or as employee number 10, as we like to call it, to walk me through different data analysis models to help me predict turnout with the goal of making data-informed decisions about staffing polling places and resource allocation throughout an election. I want to accept my sisters for this award for pushing me to use AI and to write about my experience, to my technology department here in Arlington County, for being early adopters of responsible AI UX policies and releasing the tools to my staff, and USDR and the elections team, Priya, Lindsay, Melissa, Lynn, and everybody that we've worked with over the years for recognizing and highlighting this experiment. And hopefully we can continue to create a safe place to encourage election innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen, and bravo for going outside your comfort zone in the name of better public service. So snaps for that. All right, next up we have the Innovation and Constraints Award, which honors creative solutions despite real limitations, budget, technical, or regulatory. Portland's digital services team transformed their permitting website experience with limited resources. They replaced dense, fragmented, jargon-heavy content with clear, approachable information that actually helps residents plan projects confidently. This wasn't about flashy new technology. This was about solving real problems, reducing frustration, building public trust, improving accessibility for people of all abilities, supporting economic development by helping local businesses and builders thrive. The brilliance is actually a shared reusable content architecture that scales to other projects and bureaus. Small, consistent updates that create big impact. And it's already saving time for residents and staff while accelerating permitting timelines. This is what innovation in constraint looks like, doing more with what you have in ways others can learn from. Congratulations to the City of Portland.
Thank you. I'm Hillary Brockmeyer, the Digital Services Manager, and I'm very proud to accept this award on behalf of the Digital Services team at the City of Portland. We're a small team and pretty new to the city, just over a year old. And over the past year, we've partnered closely with Portland Permitting and Development to make it easier for public to apply for permits. When we saw that there was an award for innovation and constraints, we thought, hey, we're constrained. In permitting, there's a lot of rules. And in Portland, there's a lot of permitting. So although we couldn't change any of those rules, we could make the experience clearer and easier for the public, for homeowners, business owners, and contractors. In doing so, we had to innovate, bringing in ideas and listening to voices in the community to reimagine the customer's experience with permitting processes. It's opportunities like this that show us that digital services teams can help the public achieve their goals and help our communities thrive. We thank the U.S. Digital Response for recognizing the work and for welcoming us into this community. We've learned a tremendous amount from Digital Services Network and USDR volunteers who worked with us on related projects. Their examples of innovative, user-centered approaches continue to inspire the work we do. And a big thanks to the leadership of the Bureau of Technology Services for giving us the opportunity to innovate across the city and for championing a human-centered, outcomes-based, one-city approach to service delivery. We also thank Permitting and Development for the commitment to customer service and collaboration. Dozens of specialists and more than 50 subject matter experts shared time, effort, and knowledge that was essential to this project's success. Go SMEs! Lastly, we want to thank our community members and users who offered their feedback, insights, and patience. In more ways than one, they're the reasons for this work. Because our project is now wrapping up, we see this award as an honor and a challenge. We need to keep earning it. So we'll continue collaborating and innovating, making city services simpler and better, so we can keep building a government that's transparent, responsive, and truly works for the people. Thank you.
Awesome. Congrats, Hillary. Bringing together 50 SMEs. That truly is a one city approach. So a hat tip to you on that. All right, guys, our final award celebrates exemplary multi-jurisdictional collaboration, breaking down silos to serve communities better together. Colorado's Energy Savings Navigator is ambitious in the best way. This was not one jurisdiction going it alone. This was an extensive multi-stakeholder corporation, resource sharing, and coordinated across government entities and external partners. The leadership buy-in alone was impressive, securing commitment from so many organizations to pool resources and coordinate efforts. And they're already delivering results. Documented metrics show real impact even in the early days. But here's what makes this special. They designed for replication from the start. At least one other state is already recreating the model, and more are showing interest. They built something focused on equitable, widespread access to energy benefits for all types of users in multiple languages, and they're eager to share what they've learned. This is collaboration that creates lasting change, not just for Colorado, but for anyone ready to learn from them. So with that, congratulations to the Colorado Digital Service.
Thank you so much. I'm Deborah Albin. I'm a product manager with the Colorado Digital Service. And while I'm the one accepting the award, it is on behalf of an incredible set of stakeholders and partners. So the state of Colorado has a goal of 100% renewable energy by 2040, and we also want to ensure energy affordability. The state has 54 utilities, dozens of energy assistance programs, and hundreds of energy efficiency tax credits and rebate programs, which is all really great. But that complex system makes it hard for people to understand what's available to them. So the Office of Governor Jared Polis brought together the Colorado Public Utilities Commission, the Colorado Digital Service, and the Colorado Energy Office to make it easier for Colorado residents to find the help they need. We used the My Friend Ben eligibility screener and the Rewiring America Energy Incentives API to build the Colorado Energy Savings Navigator, which aims to help people figure out what energy assistance and incentives they probably qualify for. Amidst changing benefits and incentives, we really hope to achieve our vision of clean, affordable energy for all Coloradans. This is going to be another roll call. Thank you to our fantastic cross-agency team at the state of Colorado, including Rebecca White, Trisha Anstey, Katie O'Donnell, Monali Mohanty, Christian Willis, Lena Longshore, PJ Higgins, Mark Silberg, and our partners behind the technology, Sydney Devine, Elise Henson, Brian Hyatt, and Kayla Pena at Gary Community Ventures, Sekar Paladugu, Josh Mejia, and Kaiten Hauer at My Friend Ben, and also the Rewiring America Incentives team. And finally, thank you so much to USDR for the recognition.
Thank you, Marlena, for bringing such energy and insight to the government awards. Your perspective on this work, Marlena, and your commitment to strengthening civic futures, it means a lot to this community, so thank you. And to our government award winners, amazing. Y'all have shown us what's possible when governments choose strength over inertia, collaboration over silos, and impact over process. The solutions you've built aren't just making your communities better, they're lighting the path for us others to follow, and we're all so grateful. Every single awardee today, whether a government team or individual champion, has proven something essential. That making government work better isn't about having perfect conditions, as we've talked about. It's about refusing to accept the status quo. So I want to take a moment to acknowledge what you've all done this year, because I know it hasn't been easy. You're being asked to do more with less, to move faster with fewer resources, to prove the value of work that frankly should be self-evident. And yet you keep showing up. You keep pushing. You keep believing that government services can meet people's needs with dignity and accessibility. And I know we know this, but I just have to say it, that matters more than we might realize, more than we might remember on a day-to-day basis when the slog gets hard. As we head into 2026, our communities are going to need effective digital services more than ever. They're going to need governments that work, not someday, not after the next budget cycle when hopefully we get, more funding, but now. And democracy itself depends on whether people can trust that government serves them. You, all of y'all on Zoom right now, are the people building that trust, one working system at a time. one accessible form, one faster permit process, one benefits application that finally makes sense. That's not small work. It's everything. At USDR, we see this as just the beginning. The partnerships we've built, the community we've gathered today, the solutions you've created, this is the foundation for what comes next. We're committed to showing up alongside all of you in 2026 and beyond, to connecting you with volunteers who want help, to sharing what works across jurisdictions, to being the partner that meets you where you are and helps you move forward, no matter what constraints you're facing. But again, this isn't just about USDR, it's about all of us. This ecosystem of people who refuse to let government technology fail the communities that depend on it. So here's our rallying cry. Keep building, keep collaborating, keep showing up. This work is hard, but it's never been more important. Now, as we wrap, we're going to end the way USDR always does, with something a little unusual, but very us. Born in the early days of the pandemic when we were all stuck on video calls and we just knew each other by these boxes. We didn't know if lower bodies existed, right? We developed our own way of celebrating and we call it the stretch clap. It's how we show our enthusiasm and appreciation for everyone in the virtual room with us without everybody clapping at the same time and audio going wild. So I want everybody to turn your video on. Hit gallery view. It's in your top right-hand corner, so you can see everyone together. And I'm literally going to walk us through demos, not memos, y'all. We're going to all do a stretch clap together. I want you to pump one fist up to the right, one to the left. You can see some folks already doing it. Do it again. Keep going faster and faster. This is for everyone who showed up today, for every government team making change happen, for every volunteer giving their time, for every civic tech professional who chooses purpose over easier paths, for every selection committee member who helped us organize excellence, for every partner and supporter who believes this work matters. Thank you. Thank you. Stretch clap it out, y'all. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for the work you do every day that often goes unseen. Thank you for refusing to accept that government has to be frustrating or inaccessible. I am leaving today so fired up, thanks to the folks on my screen right now. So thank you all. Stay in touch, keep going, and we'll see you in 2026. Have a good one, everybody.